This convention, it was more like a white trash front yard party, you know. I mean, it really was. I was watching it. That's all I can think of. My favorite was Nikki Haley, who, God bless her, like her head was completely disagreeing with her mouth. Like it couldn't. It was like her mouth is saying, vote for Trump, and her head's just going like that the whole time. You know, like her head was like, what are you talking about, mouth? Shut the up. What's wrong with you?
That was comedian Larry Wilmore speaking on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher back in July, offering his thoughts on this year's Republican National Convention. Now let's get his thoughts on the election as it stands right now. Larry joins us now. He's an Emmy Award-winning TV writer and executive producer, and tonight he'll be performing in New York City for the latest stop on his Comedy, Magic, and America tour. Tell us about America. What's going on in America?
Well, you know, I try to make a distinction between America and America.
Okay.
I love America. You know, I'm a proud patriot. I think most Americans are good people. Our problems are with America.
Okay.
You know, and in America, that's where you get the divisiveness. That's where you get, you know, Twitter. You know, that's where you get the squeaky wheel that says all these things. America has all the problems that America is like, come on, we can do better than this.
Yeah.
That's kind of the distinction that I make in the show.
And so I love that. Tell us more about the show.
Oh, so the show, it's very exciting. A lot of people don't know that I do magic. I've been doing magic since...
I did not see that coming.
Exactly. So I've done it since I was a kid. I'm a member of the Magic Castle in Hollywood, and I normally do close-up magic, but I wanted to do a show integrating magic and kind of mentalism and a lot of things that people really can't understand. It's really like one of these shows that people are going, what did I just see? But mixing it with commentary about our country, about politics, about culture.
Oh, good.
Because I've never seen that type of mix of those two forms.
Performance, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really so much fun. The audience really enjoys it. You know.
Right. Larry,
yes,
I've known you for a while.
Yes.
And I will never forget you at the White House Correspondents' Dinner that night that you hosted. What do you hope people come out of your show with, other than relaxing, laughing, and remembering America? What do you hope when they walk out the door that they have in their head?
Well, the feeling that people have had, and it makes me feel so good, is that we have more in common than we have that's different. You know, we have more that unites us than we have that divides us. The problem is the divisive stuff is louder. I was very fortunate when I was in college. I sold books door to door, like in Rhode Island, and I got to go into many people's homes, Reverend Al. And I found out that most Americans are pretty good people. And I found out most Americans really just want to help you out. You know, it's one of the things I talk about in the show. And it frustrates me that those voices, your average American person, they're not loud. You know, and it used to be the opposite. Like a lot of the divisive voices, remember the silent majority? The silent majority used to be different. You know, it used to be more of what has become the loud minority now. You know, those types of voices that speak out, that are divisive voices and that sort of thing. Now the silent majority, I think, is more reasonable. If you look at an issue like abortion, most Americans, the majority of Americans, are very reasonable about abortion because they know it's very
men and women.
Men and women, correct. Yeah, it's not a gender issue. Most people are reasonable about it. Most people know it's a private decision. Most people don't want anybody, you know, else involved in something as complicated as an issue like that.
Is there any topic that you just would never discuss because it's just too off limits? That's what I always watch comedians and I wonder how they figure out drawing the line or not.
The key is, do I have a take on it? Do I have something to say that maybe someone else isn't saying? You know, more so than the topic itself, because a lot of people chase the hot topics. I don't want to chase the topics just because it's hot. I have to have a take on it. Otherwise, why am I talking about it? You know, especially you're competing against social media these days too, and there's a lot of funny and really insightful people out there who weigh in on things real quick. I don't envy Stephen Colbert and a lot of guys on late night, because you got to come up with really original takes on so many issues these days. So that's when I decided to speak up.
Nice.
Larry, we just had a discussion here earlier in the hour about black men and why some black men, young black men in particular, seem to be saying they cannot support Kamala Harris and we went through a variety of reasons, some differing and others agreeing. How do you see this? Do you see this as a real problem? And if so, how should it be dealt with by the Harris campaign?
I disagree with the premise of it. I don't think it's a problem. Oh, man, Harris might only get 83% of the black male vote. That's a disaster, you guys. 83%. What are we going to do with that? You know, I think what it speaks to more, it's not so much black men. I think there's an American men problem out there. I think American men have no problem supporting Kamala, including black American men. But in America, there are issues with female leadership and men taking a secondary role in regards to female leadership. I think it's more of a masculinity issue than it is a gender issue.
But isn't it the contrast? I mean, isn't that something that even would be great material for your show? Okay, fine. I don't know why, but you still have problems with female leadership.
Right.
But the comparison, the alternative, is someone that many have diagnosed openly as psychotic.
Yes.
What's your choice, America?
Politics has never cared about the psychosis of the people running. You know, I mean, Nixon beat a very good man in Hubert Humphrey. You know,
we're in way different territory. Yeah. We're in way different territory.
We are in different territory. You know. But I think a lot of people vote their issues in these, and they vote their side more than they are voting personalities. I think the critique against Trump is fair, but it's not why people are voting for Trump. They're not voting for him because they think he's a better person than Kamala. They're voting for him because it's more of a lot of the Trump support to me is still cultish, you know.
Yeah.
Is he represents something. The biggest thing that Trump represents for a lot of people on the right is he's a cudgel against the left.
Yeah, I know.
He really is. And you guys have to understand, that means a lot to a lot of people.
I know.
So they forgive a whole host of things. They just don't care about it. You can say it all you want. They go, whatever. He's still going to fight against, you know, this, that. And
you would just think that you would get to a point of going, wait a minute, this has gone too far, when perhaps if you were a Republican male who, you know, loves to stick it to the left, and your brother's wife needs a DNC, or she's going to bleed out, or have to give birth to a stillborn baby, and is left hanging in the balance because of what Donald Trump did. This will happen to Democrats and Republicans. It will happen to your family members. It will happen to the women you love, to the younger women you love, to the older women you love. See, Republicans need to understand how a woman's body works. There are times you need this health care, and you're not going to get it. Thank you to Donald Trump. That's a real issue. That's going to affect their lives. That's going to affect their ability to have children. That could actually kill them. I don't know. When does it get serious?
When it happens to them. That's when Republicans get serious.
Well, it will.
Republicans came out for gay marriage when they had a sister that was gay.
Right.
You know, they use anecdotal evidence in order to change their mind.
It's going to come to life near them. Comedian Larry Wilmore, nothing funny about this.
No, but my show is funny. It's going to be great.
It's really funny. And tickets are available now for his Comedy Magic and America tour at thelarrywilmore.com. That's where you can get them. Thank you so much for coming on Morning Joe. Great to see you.